Hi guys, Barry from Copper vs Glass here, and today I'm just going to be doing a quick overview of the Moto X. Now if you don't know, the Moto X is Google and Motorola's first real collaboration together since Google bought the mobile division of Motorola some 18 months ago. This phone in terms of specifications is very mid-range. It's a 4.7 inch 720p, not 1080p phone that has supposedly a 24-hour battery life and some sort of crazy dual quad octo core that can monitor your voice and do things like Google Now when even you're not touching the phone. So in terms of hardware, it's very mid-range and it doesn't really stand out too much. It's got a 10 megapixel camera on the back, for example, 2 megapixel on the front, and a relatively decent battery life. The real big selling points here are two things. First of all, the software. It's basically stock Android, but it's not stock Android. It's got very few tweaks in it, such as, for example, in the camera, they've taken out some features like the amazing panorama photosphere mode to implement some other features that you may not even want, such as slow motion, for example. The other features that they've added, such as the you can operate Google Now without actually picking up the device, is pretty cool. You can essentially say, OK Google Now, and it will produce Google Now, and you can talk to it without even touching the phone, which is really cool. But in terms of the operating system, a lot of people were really expecting it to be basically stock, but it's kind of not, and that means that subsequently it's not shipping with the latest version. It's 4.2.2, not 4.3, and Motorola have said that they're treated like any other third party, so they're not necessarily going to get updates as quickly as we would like. The other big selling point of this phone is that it's customizable in terms of the colours. There's 17 colours on the back that you can choose from and 7 accent colours, such as around the camera and the buttons. This feature is only going to be available on AT&T in America and not actually at launch. It's going to be sometime in the future, and all the other carriers are going to be having black and white, and then very later in the future perhaps the other customization options. The biggest drawback, however, is that, as you can tell, I'm English, I live in the UK, and I can't get this phone. It's not actually being sold anywhere outside the US. Motorola has said they've got something else in mind for international customers. So at the moment, I can't even look at one if I wanted to. So people in America, great, you can go out and buy it if you should so wish. The other big downside though is that it's quite expensive for what people were thinking. It was rumoured to be a quite low price off-contract device, but it's actually just like any other phone. It's $199 on contract for the 16 gig version. And when you compare that to something like an S4 or HTC One, you might be getting better value for money somewhere else. So I guess in general my feeling about this phone is that it's very mid-range, it's very kind of all-round performing, but it doesn't really stand out in terms of anything that it does, other than the fact that you can customize the colours of it. But I feel like it's going to be a very good phone for someone who just wants a great performing phone that's simple to use and has some pretty nifty features in it to help you with your day-to-day phone operating life. Myself though, I'm really looking forward to the next Nexus products. I'm still holding out for the next Nexus phone. I really like the new Nexus 7. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you live in America, are you going to buy a Moto X? And if not, why not? And are you annoyed that outside the US you can't get one? And would you want to get one if you could? So anyway, this is Barry from Copper vs Glass, and I'll check you guys later.